today we have Ethan with us. Ethan is in kindergarten. He loves running and jumping. And so today we're gonna teach him first how to do some high knees to really help engage his quadriceps muscles, his hamstring muscles, his calf muscles like the gastrocnemius and the soleus. And then using high knees, you're gonna also use your core and your abdomen to really stabilize yourself during this exercise. And the purpose of this exercise is we're gonna improve some of our motor learning skills, such as coordination, timing, and rhythm. And then we're also going to work on strengthening those muscles that we use when we run and when we jump. So then when we run and jump, we can be faster, we can jump higher, and we can be safer and avoid injury. So first, I'm gonna kind of give you a demonstration and explain how to do it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lift one leg up off, and you're gonna bring it as high, almost as high as you can, right up almost to your chest. And then you're gonna switch, bring that leg down, and as you bring that leg down, the other leg is gonna come up. And then you kind of switch again. And you can kind of leave your hands up here to kind of give yourself a visual of what to touch, and then you can go faster and faster, yeah, just like that. All right, you can go ahead and give it a try. All right, and we can see that Ethan is flexing his hip and flexing his knee at the acetabular femoral joint, and at which is your hip joint, and then also at the tibiofemoral joint, which is your knee joint. And then Ethan was also plantar flexing to get his legs as he pushed off the ground at the talocrural joint. Good job, Ethan. Knees again, and I'm going to evaluate him for just about 20 seconds. Ready, set, and go. Good job, Ethan. Really maintain your posture. Don't stick your butt out. Good. Nice. Yep, try to keep those toes pointing forward. And time. Good job, Ethan. Thanks. Lastly, just to reiterate, the lift phase of high knees is very important. So you want to make sure that you're driving that knee forward. Ideally, it should come up to about hip height. And then you go into the alternating your legs between that. So as soon as the first knee reaches its peak height, you're going to quickly lower it back down while simultaneously lifting the other leg up. And it is important to maintain a fluid motion while alternating legs in a coordinated manner. Lastly, after evaluating Ethan from the anterior, lateral, and posterior view, it was observed that Ethan had a little bit of leaning backwards to get his knees up, and it's important that we maintain proper alignment of our lumbopelvic hip complex and our trunk, making sure it's aligned and not arching back. Thank you. We're going to be doing some jumping jacks. Our jumping jacks are going to help us again with our coordination, our timing and our rhythm, and synchronization of our upper body and our lower body. This will help us to be able to jump higher. It'll help us with our endurance as well. And it'll help us strengthen our quadriceps muscles, our hamstring muscles, which are in the back of our legs. It'll help us with jumping for our calf muscles like the gastrocnemius and the soleus. And it'll also help our deltoid muscles and our gluteus medius and gluteus maximus muscles. And also our abductors and our adductors. The abductors bring our legs out, and the adductors bring our legs in. So first what we're gonna do is we're gonna start by putting our feet together. Next, what we're gonna do, we're just gonna do the lower body first. So we're gonna jump out, just like that, and then jump back in. Good, so that's gonna be for the feet. You can start with your hands by your sides. And what you're gonna do is as your feet jump out, you're gonna bring your arms up, and you can do a clap if you'd like, or you can just kind of touch your hands together. So as you jump out, you're gonna bring your arms up like that. So we can try that. Go up, and then back down, just like that. So we can start to do that in a fluid motion, just like that, at a nice, easy pace. And the better that you get at it, you can go faster too. Good job, Ethan. So this is working our quadriceps muscles like the rectus femoris, vastus medialis, intermedius, and lateralis, and our hamstring muscles like the semimembranosus, semitendinosus, and biceps femoris. And yeah, oh, great job. One more thing to note is as we are abducting and abducting our legs, that's occurring at the acetabular femoral joint. And then as we're jumping, we're using our talocrural joint. And then we are also using our glenohumeral joint as we're bringing our arms up and then back down. And sometimes there's a little bit of flexion at our elbow as well at the at the humeral ulnar joint. I'm gonna have you do jumping jacks for about 20 seconds and I'm just going to evaluate you. So you can go ahead whenever you're ready. Good. All right, so let's bring those arms back to our sides and so they're not in front of us. Okay. Good. Yes, and make sure you're engaging your core, your tummy muscles, keeping that neutral spine. Very good, staying on the balls of your toes. Being at a nice pace and nice synchronization of your arms and your legs. Good job, Ethan. I just want to reiterate the phases of the jumping jack. So during the jumping up position, what is going to occur is an explosive jump up while abducting the legs and the arms. The legs will abduct to about shoulder width apart while simultaneously abducting the arms, but then going all the way to above the head. And then in the mid-air phase, what is going to happen, that's the peak phase of the jump. And so your legs will be fully extended and your arms will be fully extended and raised above your head, and you'll be forming an X shape with your body. And then lastly, returning to the starting position, it's important that one lands softly on the balls of their feet as they adduct their legs and adduct their arms back to the starting position in one fluid motion. All right, next we're gonna teach Ethan how to do a single leg balance. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put all of our weight into one foot and you're gonna lift off your other leg slightly off the ground. You're gonna have a slight bend in your knee that has all the weight in your foot. And what you're gonna do is to help you balance, you can either put your arms out to the side or you can put your hands on your hips. And what I want you to focus on is not sticking your butt out, but bringing your butt in just a little bit, stabilizing your core, using those core muscles. This is gonna help us with our motor learning skills, such as proprioception, which is like our body awareness of where we are in space. And then it's also going to help us, of course, with our balance, which will help us with running and jumping, because when we run, we're running on different legs all the time. And then it will also help us strengthen those quadricep muscles, the hamstring muscles, and it will really help stabilize the ankle joint. And we'll also be using muscles like the flexor digitorum at the bottom of the foot, and the flexor hallucis longus, which is our big toe muscle. And so I'll let you go and give it a try. And hold it as best as you can. Try to resist bending to the side. Sometimes it's helpful to look at something on the ground that's not moving. And let's work on getting our toe facing forward. Yeah, there we go. Just like that. And what is occurring here, we're working at the talocrural joint, the carpal metacarpal joint, tarsal metatarsal joint, which is at our foot. And then we've got a slight bend in our knee at the tibiofemoral joint, and slight flexion at the hip at the acetabular joint. And then we've got a little bit of elbow flexion here at the humeral ulnar joint, just to keep us stabilized. We're also using our erector spinae to keep our spine stabilized. And that's about it. Good job, Ethan. Thanks. Next, we're going to test the iliopsoas, which is one of our hip flexors during high knees at the acetabular joint. And so as Ethan is seated, I'm going to ask Ethan to lift up his leg while keeping it bent, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to push down on your tibiofemoral joint, and you are going to resist me pushing up. Okay, you ready? Mm-hmm. Very good, Ethan. That would be a 3. And just as Ethan was stabilizing his core and stabilizing his hands as well without overcompensating. All right, so we've got Ethan here, and we are going to be testing Ethan's knee flexion. So what we're going to do is we're going to have our proximal arm is going to be lined up with the lateral midline of the femur. The fulcrum is going to be over the lateral epicondyle of the femur, and then the distal arm is going to be lined up with the lateral midline of the fibula. Normal range of motion is going to be between 130 to 140 degrees. Knee flexion is very important in running and jumping because it's really easy for your hamstrings to get tight, which can limit that range of motion. All right, so Ethan here is lying supine, and I'm going to line this up. All right, and Ethan, I'm going to have you slowly bend your knee up and bring your foot to your bottom. Very good, just as I suspected, about 135. For our last test, we have Ethan here going to be doing a single leg squat. So Ethan, what I'm gonna have you do is first you can kind of start by kind of standing about hip width apart, and then you're gonna put all of your weight onto one side and lift up one of your legs. You're gonna balance just like that. You can put your hands on your hips for some stability, and then you're gonna bend your leg with all of that has all the weight in. Just a little bit, you'll go as far as you can. Work on trying not to sway from side to side, and doing the best that you can to balance it. Very good, and I'm gonna be observing Ethan from the anterior, lateral, and posterior view, looking for compensations at the feet, at the knees, and at the hips. Good. As you can see, there's a little bit of shake from the lateral side and the anterior side. It's a possible compensation. And then we have a little bit of trunk flexion going a little forward. So Ethan's working on stabilizing that core. Very good. All right, good job, Ethan.
Thanks.